It's easy to get lost in all the noise out there,
Oh, definitely.
especially when you're trying to wrap your head around, you know, really crucial topics like cybersecurity.
Hmm.
The sheer volume of information
Huh.
can just feel overwhelming. So the question is, how do we cut through that noise?
Yeah, how do you get to what actually matters?
Exactly. Especially when you're implementing complex solutions, things that can really make or break your digital defenses. Today, we're taking a deep dive into something absolutely vital for digital security, privileged access management. PM for short.
Right.
Now, you might be wondering what PM is or, why it's so important.
Or maybe why we're talking about failures specifically.
Precisely. Why do so many implementations end up, well, falling short? We've got a fantastic stack of insights here today. Think of it as your shortcut.
A shortcut to understanding not just what goes wrong, but crucially, how to get it right. That's right. Our sources, they make it pretty clear PAM is a crucial step in strengthening cybersecurity. No doubt about it. But yeah, many organizations hit some significant pitfalls along the way. So what we're looking to do today is extract those critical lessons from the missteps and then lay out the actionable strategies, things you can actually use to ensure a more successful PAM deployment. It's really all about helping you listening be well-informed, but without feeling overwhelmed by it all.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our sources lay out some really clear reasons why these PAM initiatives often stumble, sometimes right out of the gate. The first one is foundational. It might sound obvious, maybe, but it's shockingly common.
What is it?
A lack of clear strategy and objectives. Not knowing why you're doing it, really. If you don't nail down what you're trying to achieve up front, what are your specific business and security goals here, you're basically flying blind.
Yeah.
And for PAM specifically, our sources show this isn't just a generic strategy miss. It's often because organizations treat PAM like it's just another IT install.
Right, like installing a new printer or something.
Right. Exactly. Instead of seeing it as a strategic business transformation. So without those specific goals, like, are we trying to reduce the attack surface, improve compliance reporting, the whole effort can just feel directionless from day one.
What's fascinating here, and kind of worrying, is how often this initial step is overlooked, yet it dictates everything that follows. It's absolutely not just about installing software. It's a strategic shift for the whole organization. It's about aligning security directly with business outcomes.
That makes sense.
And you'd be surprised how many companies, they have solid overall business goals, right? But PAM, it's completely left out of that higher level strategic planning.
So they end up scrambling later.
Exactly. Playing catch up when they should have had a plan from the start.
Okay, so strategy is number one. But speaking of the organization, beyond just the plan, we often see companies kind of trip over their own feet when it comes to the human element.
Ah, the people side. Always tricky.
Right. Which brings us to another massive roadblock. Underestimating organizational change management.
Big one.
Resistance from employees, maybe even from the IT teams themselves. It can just completely derail adoption, even if you've bought the best technology in the world.
Technology doesn't implement itself.
Precisely. A successful PAM rollout isn't just technical. It demands proactive stakeholder buy-in, dedicated training programs, ongoing support for everyone involved. It's a culture shift, really, as much as a technology deployment.
You've got to bring people along with you.
Absolutely. So, if your strategy is hazy, and maybe your people are a bit hesitant, what about the actual rules of engagement?
The policies.
Yeah, because our sources really underline that neglecting to define and enforce policies is another huge pitfall.
Makes sense.
Without well-defined access policies, even the most robust, most expensive PAM solutions can become, well, pretty ineffective.
Right.
It's like having a high-tech vault door.
But no rules about who gets the key or when.
Exactly. Organizations absolutely must establish role-based access controls, RBAC.
Basically, access based on your job, not just who you are.
Right. And implement least privilege principles. That means users only get the absolute minimum access they need to do their job, nothing more.
And session monitoring, too, presumably.
And session monitoring is in place, yes.
Yes.
You need to know what's happening with that privileged access.
That's a critical point there. And it makes you wonder, how can you even enforce security if you haven't clearly defined what privileged access even means in your specific context?
Good question.
Our sources point out that the least privilege principle, it sounds simple, right? Just give minimum access.
Yeah, seems straightforward.
But in practice, it's often one of the hardest things to get right because it challenges ingrained habits, old ways of working. And it requires a really deep understanding of what users actually need versus what they have.
That's a great insight.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got potentially fuzzy strategy, maybe some user resistance, unclear policies.
Not a great start.
Not at all. And if those policies, even if you define them, aren't seamlessly integrated with your existing IT infrastructure, well, you're building a fortress with crumbling walls, aren't you?
Huh, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Which leads us directly to the next issue. Poor integration with existing systems.
The technical plumbing, essentially.
Right. PAM solutions need to play nicely with everything else in your IT environment. Your directories, your ticketing systems, everything. If they don't seamlessly integrate, you end up with operational bottlenecks. Things slow down. And worse, you create security gaps. It limits effectiveness and just causes headaches for everyone.
So you need those smooth connections.
You absolutely do. Smooth connections with identity providers, directories like Active Directory, your IT service management tools like ServiceNow or Jira.
And it's really not just about convenience, is it? It's about avoiding those operational silos that completely undermine the whole purpose of PAM in the first place.
Silos are the enemy here.
Definitely.
Yeah.
True security, effective security, comes from a connected ecosystem. All your systems talking to each other, sharing information, not working in isolation.
Okay. Now, shifting gears a bit to something incredibly critical and honestly frequently missed.
Oh, what's that?
The management of non-human identities. This next pitfall, often overlooked, is precisely where many recent very public breaches have stemmed from.
The machine identities. Service accounts, API keys.
Exactly. We're talking about service accounts, application credentials, automated processes, those digital identities that aren't tied to a person.
But often have very high privileges.
Extremely high privileges, often running critical systems in the background, totally silently. A comprehensive PAM strategy must include lifecycle management for these machine identities.
But do they?
Well, here's the kicker. Our sources revealed that something like over 70% of organizations surveyed admitted they had incomplete inventories of these machine-to-machine credentials.
70%. Wow.
Yeah, which makes them a silent, massive, and largely unmanaged attack surface.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the rise of automation, cloud-native applications, microservices.
It's exploding.
Right. It means these non-human identities are proliferating at an incredible rate. So ignoring them, it's truly leaving a significant door wide open for potential exploitation.
Because attackers know.
Attackers know these accounts often have elevated permissions, and they're typically less scrutinized than human accounts. They're a prime target.
Okay, so that's a huge one. And then there's the maybe more mundane but still critical failure to automate workflows.
Getting bogged down in manual tasks.
Exactly. Manual processes for things like access approvals or password changes, credential rotation. It drastically increases the administrative burden.
And slows things down.
And it can delay critical security actions. If someone leaves the company, how quickly is their privileged access revoked if it's all manual?
Good point. It introduces lag, which means risk.
Right. Automating credential rotation, session management, access approvals. It enhances both security and efficiency. Think about it. If you're manually changing passwords for hundreds, maybe thousands, of service accounts.
You're always playing catch-up. It's just not sustainable. Or secure.
Not at all. Okay, and just two more common pitfalls that really stood out from our sources. First, ignoring compliance and audit requirements.
The paperwork side, but essential.
Absolutely essential. Inadequate logging and reporting capabilities can lead to significant compliance failures. Think GDPR, HEPA, SOX.
Big fines, regulatory headaches.
Exactly. PAM solutions should inherently provide robust audit trails, real-time monitoring, clear regulatory compliance reporting. It's not just a nice-to-have feature. It's a core requirement for many industries. It cannot be an afterthought.
It needs to be built in.
Built in from the start. And finally, number 8. Overlooking scalability and future growth.
Thinking too small, basically.
Pretty much. A PAM solution isn't a one-and-done deal. You install it and forget it. It needs to grow and evolve with the business.
And with the threat landscape, which is always changing.
Constantly changing. Organizations need to plan for things like integrating with new cloud platforms, handling hybrid environments, managing the sheer increase in the number of privileged accounts as they expand.
Yeah.
Our sources highlight that many initial PAM deployments are scoped too narrowly. They solve yesterday's problem, maybe.
And quickly become obsolete or overwhelmed as the business grows or adopts new tech.
Exactly. Leaving gaps again. Phew. Okay, that's That's quite a list of potential problems.
It is. It shows why PAM can be challenging.
But understanding what goes wrong is crucial, right?
Mhm.
Because the real power comes from turning those insights into action.
Absolutely. Learning from the mistakes.
So let's pivot now. Let's talk strategies for success. Because our sources don't just leave us with the problems, they give us practical, actionable ways to turn those failures into future wins.
Good. Let's get constructive.
All right, so connecting back to that very first pitfall, the lack of strategy. The solution, unsurprisingly, is to establish a clear strategy.
Makes sense. Define the why.
Define the why before you start. This means conducting a comprehensive needs assessment before implementation, aligning your PAM objectives with your overarching business goals and your cybersecurity frameworks.
And not just setting it and forgetting it.
No, definitely not. Regularly revisiting and refining these objectives. You have to adapt to evolving security threats and changing business needs.
This is truly about setting the North Star for your entire PAM journey.
I like that. And North Star.
Without it, you're just drifting. You're reacting to problems instead of proactively building resilience. And our sources really emphasized that organizations that invest this time up front,
They save time and money later.
they drastically reduce future rework and costs. It pays off.
Right. Okay, strategy first. Then, remember the change management issue. Underestimating the people side.
The resistance.
The strategy there is, well, to enhance organizational change management. Actively manage it.
So communication, training.
All of that. Engage stakeholders early and often in the implementation process. Provide really clear communication. Robust training, tailored to different roles, and ongoing support. Don't just train once and walk away.
Got it.
And it's crucial to address concerns and resistance directly. Don't ignore the grumbling. Maybe use pilot programs, phased rollouts to ease people in and get feedback.
Yeah, make them part of the solution.
Exactly. Think of it as a continuous conversation, not a one-time announcement.
Makes sense.
Okay, next up. Those weak or missing policies.
The rules of the road.
Right. The solution here is to define and enforce robust access policies,
Robust meaning.
meaning creating and strictly enforcing role-based access controls. Implementing that principle of least privilege for all privileged accounts, human and non-human,
And reviewing them.
and regularly reviewing and updating these policies based on security assessments, changes in roles, new threats. Our sources found something interesting here too.
Oh, yeah.
Policies that are theoretically perfect, written beautifully.
But impossible to actually follow in the real world.
Exactly. They often lead to security theater rather than real protection. People find workarounds. So the key is to focus on what's actionable and enforceable.
Practicality matters. Got it.
Okay, then the integration problem. Poor connection.
Building those bridges.
The solution is to ensure seamless integration. This starts with selecting PAM solutions that actually offer good, maybe even out-of-the-box, integration with your critical IT systems.
Do your homework when buying.
Definitely. And then work closely with your IT teams to thoroughly test and refine those integration processes. Don't just assume it works.
Test, test, test.
And leverage things like APIs, application programming interfaces, that allow different systems to talk to each other more easily. Enhance that interoperability.
Indeed. And like we said before, this strategy isn't just for convenience.
No.
It's fundamental to avoiding those operational silos that undermine the very purpose of PAM. True security really does come from that connected ecosystem. Your security tools, your identity systems, your IP service management, they all need to work together.
Otherwise, you're just creating more friction, more complexity, maybe even less security in the end.
Precisely.
All right, what about that big, often missed area? The non-human identities.
The bots and scripts.
Yeah. The strategy is to address non-human identities effectively and proactively.
Meaning find them first.
Exactly. You have to proactively identify and inventory all non-human identities before you even start locking things down. You can't protect what you don't know you have.
Makes sense. Discover first.
Discover first. And then automate the credential lifecycle management for those service accounts and applications. Rotate their passwords automatically, manage their access, take the manual effort and risk out of it.
Automation again.
Which brings us to the next strategy, directly addressing the failure to automate workflows. The solution, automate key PAM processes.
Like what specifically?
Well, definitely implement automated credential rotation. That significantly reduces exposure risk from stale passwords. Use workflow automation for access approvals, make it faster and trackable. Automate session monitoring and alerting where possible.
Take the human delay and error out of it.
Right. And continuously assess your automation strategies. Where else can we improve efficiency and security through automation? It's an ongoing process.
That's a great point about automation. And, it's important to note, as our sources really highlight this, automation itself is a cornerstone for tackling those other critical areas we talked about earlier.
Like compliance and scalability.
Exactly. Compliance and scalability. Manual processes can never keep up with the demands of modern audit requirements or the sheer growth of an enterprise environment. You just can't scale manual checks and changes effectively.
So automation isn't just about efficiency, it's about survival, almost.
In a way, yes. It's truly about building resilience for the future into every single one of these strategies we've discussed, making sure your PAM solution isn't just effective now, but it's robust and scalable for whatever comes next.
Wow, okay. So we've covered a lot of ground. The pitfalls, the solutions. What does this all mean for you listening?
Yeah, what's the big picture?
Well, this deep dive into failed PAM implementations and their solutions.
Yeah.
It isn't just about cybersecurity software, is it?
No, not at all.
It's really a powerful illustration of how understanding common pitfalls, whether it's in technology adoption or, frankly, any complex project, can really pave the way for success.
Absolutely. We've seen how issues ranging from a fuzzy strategy and poor change management right through to neglecting non-human identities and struggling with integration, how all that can derail even the best intentions. But crucially, we've also laid out the precise strategies to overcome each of these, from enforcing robust policies to really embracing automation and ensuring seamless integration.
And remembering to weave in compliance and scalability right from the beginning.
Exactly, building it in, not bolting it on later.
So I think the big takeaway here is that anticipating problems is really half the battle won.
Forewarned is forearmed.
Yeah, by learning from others' missteps, like the ones highlighted in our sources today, you gain a significant head start. You know what to look out for. So as you go about your day, maybe consider this. How might these principles we've talked about, things like defining clear objectives, managing change effectively, creating robust policies, ensuring integration, addressing all the components, human or not, automating where you can, and always planning for growth and compliance, how might those apply to a complex product you're involved in?
Even if it has nothing to do with cybersecurity.
Right, even if it's totally unrelated. Where else in your world do privileged access or critical processes exist, maybe metaphorically speaking, that could benefit from this kind of deep dive thinking? Where could anticipating the pitfalls lead to a much smoother path to success?